Let's try to understand how to graph line using slope-intercept form. Okay, let's first talk about what is slope-intercept form of a line. See, if we are given a line in the form of y equals to mx plus b, then this is called slope-intercept form. Why? Because in this equation, m is the slope and b is y-intercept. Okay. Why is it by y-intercept? Y-intercept because let us say we put x equals to 0. If x equals to 0, then what is the value of y? Y is b. So y-intercept is a point on a graph where the line crosses y-axis, intercepts the y-axis, correct? So here in this graph, we have, this is our x-axis, correct? Positive side, negative side of x, and that's our y-axis, negative y, correct? So wherever the graph crosses y-axis, that becomes y-intercept. And if it crosses x-axis, at that point, x value is 0, correct? So at y-intercept, x value is always 0. So if you plug in x as 0 here, you get y equals to b, and therefore b is your y-intercept, correct? Now the slope-intercept form of a line is very helpful to graph a line. We'll take a couple of examples to explain you the process of doing so, okay? Let me just take one equation, basic equation like y equals to, let's say y equals to minus 2x. Now if I write y equals to minus 2x, is it in the form of y equals to mx plus b? What is the y-intercept here? Well, y-intercept is 0, right? Because it is plus 0. Do you see that? So y-intercept is 0. And what is the slope? So we'll say slope is equals to minus 2. If you compare this equation with this equation, so we say slope is minus 2 and y-intercept, let me write like this, is 0, 0, right? Because x value is 0, y is 0, okay? At y-intercept, x has to be 0, correct? Slope is minus 2. Now, with that information, it is very easy to draw a line. Let me show you how. So first go to the y-intercept. Y-intercept is 0, 0. So which is the origin, right? We are assuming that the scale is 1, right? 1, 1, minus 1, minus 1, okay? Now, so we got 1 point. To draw a line, we basically need 2. 3 is even better, right? Now, here we know y-intercept is 0, so that's my y-intercept. So line will go through 0, 0. And to get the second point, I'll take help of the slope. Slope is minus 2. Minus 2 can be seen as like minus 2 over 1, right? And what is slope? Slope is rise over run, correct? Slope is rise over run. Do you remember that part? Let me write here, slope. So slope m is equals to rise over run. That is slope, right? Now here, the slope is minus 2. So what is the rise? Rise is minus 2 and run, if nothing is there in the denominator, we will assume 1, correct? So we'll go rise over run from here. So minus 2 is my rise. Minus means going downwards. So 1, 2. That is rise and run is 1. 1. So we come to this point. Do you see that? Again we can go 1, 2. That is the rise and run. Correct? You will appreciate that if I write slope of minus 2, then I can also think it like 2 over minus 1. Correct? Minus 2 is also equals to. So minus 2 could be thought as like this. You can think as minus 2 over 1, or you could think it like 2 over minus 1. Do you understand? So if I take 2 over minus 1, that means rise is 2 and run is minus 1. Let me go from here, the y-intercept. rise is 2, 1, 2, and run is minus 1. You get this point, right? Do you see that? Again from here you can go rise 1, 2, and this point, right? So if you join these points, you get a straight line. Do you see that? And that is how we can draw a line very easily from y equals to mx plus b form, which is called slope-intercept form. Now what we need to do is just join them. Okay, all of them will fall in a straight line, and then we just join them. Okay, it's a good idea. Whenever you draw a line, make arrows on both the sides. Do you see that? So from this line, what is the y-intercept? Y-intercept is 0, right? It crosses y-axis at 0, origin, here in this case. And what is the slope? Slope, from here, if you have to go to the next point, you do rise, which is negative 2, and run 1. So slope is minus 2. Do you get it? So that line is a perfect line for y equals to minus 2. Now, we will take another example and then practice. Practice only comes from examples. More graphs you make, more practice you do, better you are at it. Okay. Now this time, let me write one equation like y equals to, let's say, half of x minus 1 this time. Okay. Now in this equation, what is your y-intercept? Y-intercept is minus 1. Okay. So we'll go to point minus 1, which is here. Do you see that? Minus 1? Okay. What is the next step? Next step is to see the slope. Slope for us is 1 over 2. That means rise of 1, run of 2. So let's go from here. Rise 1, okay, and run 2. 1, 2. So we get next point. Do you see that? Rise 1, 1, 2. We get next point. You can also think 1 over 2 as minus 1 over minus 2. So both negatives will give us positive, correct? So from here, we can go minus 1, that means down, and minus 2 means left, right? So you get other points, right? Minus 1, you don't have to draw so many points, but this is what I'm trying to show you so that it gets in your mind and you're easily able to do it, okay? Then the next step is just join them, correct? Put your scale like this and join them. And draw your arrows at the end, okay? Let's take one more equation. This time I will take kind of a fraction, okay? Let's say my equation is y equals to minus 3 over 2x plus 1. Okay, I'm taking small values so that I can show you in this space given to us. Now you guide. First thing, what should we look for? We should look for y-intercept. What is y-intercept here? Plus 1. Okay, that's my plus 1. And then the slope. What is the slope? Minus 3 over 2. So we'll do minus 3. 1, 2, 3 and run of 2. 1, 2. Do you see that? You get a point. And this could also be read as 3 over minus 2. In that case, let's go up 3. 1, 2, 3 and minus 2. 1, 2. You get this point. Once you get your points, you have to just join them and the straight line will be formed. Let's join them. Okay, here it is. If by chance you find that they are not in a line, that means you need to check your points. Okay, now these were all in a straight line. So our points are perfect. And then draw your arrow, correct? We can check in a different way also. Slope is negative, that means line has to go down the hill. Do you see it's going? Whenever you see a graph, you have to see from left to right, correct? When you see from here, negative means down the hill, perfect. And 1 is your y-intercept, right? So here, up, right? Do you see slope is positive? Rising. Slope is negative, falling line. Do you see that? That is how you see and draw a graph of a line. I hope you understand. So simple as that. You can practice some questions and let me give you some to practice, right? So you can say practice problems. You can practice by drawing these lines. See, y equals to 2x. Y equals to 3 over 2 x minus 2, and y equals to minus 3 over 4 x plus half. Okay? If you are given in fractions, it is a good idea to take one unit as half. Don't take it as 1. Right? In that case, you can draw more accurately. Okay? That's the tips. Okay, great. Thank you.